Welcome back to Pros and Claws. Raptors win. Brandon Ingram, 37 points, 15 to 30 shooting, goes off, added 7 rebounds, was incredible as the Raptors beat the Cavaliers on the second night of a back-to-back. You know I had to do it. I got to break it down. I love a hooper's hooper, and Brandon Ingram is a hooper's hooper, a bucket getter. So we're just going to get right into it and break down these professional buckets. Okay, now first quarter, Raptors on defense here. BI is going to close out to Larry Nance in the corner. Now, it's the second night of a back-to-back. BI, he's been struggling with explosion. He says he's still getting it back. So good test for his legs here. Right at the beginning of the game, the Raptors get him an open three-point shot for a catch and shoot and nails it. He had to jump for that ball as well, so that's a good sign. He's got his legs. A little bit later down, gets another look from the opposite wing, bangs it in. He's in good form with these threes. Easy catch and shoot looks to get the shooter going. Now we get into the good stuff. Here we go. The Raptors are going to curl BI from the baseline, and Mamu is going to set him a screen. Now watch very carefully as he goes through a screen. I'm going to slow down as he goes around here. You see how he's lining up? Let's just slow the speed down and play this at half speed. BI is going to stick his arm out to grab Mamu as he goes around this turn. And what that does is it means that Lonzo Ball does not have a gap to shoot and get in between BI and Mamu. Completely professional scoring. Like, this is how you score buckets in the NBA. It's not just, run a play, but it's the little details. And grabbing onto Mamu to run around him. And he does this with Pirtle a lot. What happens is now BI comes around this curl, and Mamu makes sure to give another bump. Lonzo is now completely behind. He's out of the play, and that just leaves Tomlin as the lone man to try and guard BI. So BI is going to come across, take one dribble. Doesn't matter that Lonzo Ball is recovering. BI is way too tall. It's not going to matter. BI gets into his step back. Tomlin, off this step back, is stepping back into the paint. So his body momentum is going the opposite way. Lonzo Ball is also a little bit stuck behind the play. He's not going to be able to get over his own defender. And then when BI rises up, he's too tall. Look at that clearance he has on this shot right at the elbow, free throw line area. Easy buckets for him. In motion, in rhythm, and he's feeling good. So after Ingram piles in 8 points in the first quarter, he has a 9-point second quarter. And up until now, he hasn't really scored. The Raptors are struggling for points as there's 6 minutes left in the second quarter, and they're down by 8. This is a very tricky point of the game. If the Cavs are able to kind of open this up, maybe the Raptors don't have enough gas to come back in this game. But BI is going to get some professional buckets here. So here quickly he's going to come up. He's going to set a brush screen. So he's just going to touch the defender. The defender thinks, there's a screen coming. He's caught wrong-footed, and BI is going to drive right by him. Now, the thing with Brandon Ingram is he's so long that if you're shoulder to shoulder with him, you're actually behind him. And now you're going to see what happens. Larry Nance Jr. here, he's the help defender on the back, but he's tied up with Colin Murray-Boyles, who's in the dunker spot. And BI is going to come down. And right here, BI is a step ahead. Even though they're shoulder to shoulder, he's a step ahead because he's got long legs and he's got long arms. He's going to take the step in. The step flows directly into the step to the side for the fadeaway. Larry Nance Jr., he's trying to guard the rim for the layup, so he gets vertical here, trying to draw a charge. And Tomlin is going to bump into Larry Nance Jr. BI is now going to get a nice little jump shot right here on the baseline. Larry Nance Jr., who's trying to stay vertical, isn't going to be able to really contest this. And look at the height. When BI releases the ball, there's just nothing here. He's got a clear look at the rim, and he's going to make a nice little pocket jump shot. Easy peasy professional scorer. And he's going to come back. Next position is transition. He catches the ball, and it's very important now in transition how you catch the ball and how to get the additional advantage. So now BI, he's already hit those 2 threes in the first quarter, right? The Cavaliers know this. So they know as he's catching it, the defender turns around and he's like, oh crap, I can't do it. But what BI does is when he catches the ball, you see here, neither of his feet are planted. And what that means is, like, once you get 2 hands on the ball, you've gathered the ball and you have to pick a pivot foot. And if you lift that pivot foot without dribbling, before your first dribble, it's a travel. But since BI doesn't have a foot down, he gets a gather step effectively when he puts the ball down. So now what he's able to do is he flows right into the dribble. He gets to keep momentum. The defender's flat-footed. What BI is going to do is hard bump into the defender. Strong shoulder. He's got long legs. Again, you're shoulder to shoulder with BI. That means you're behind. Larry Nance Jr. again lining up for the charge, but Colin Murray-Boyles is there in the dunker spot, so he can't fully commit to help further than that. And what that does is Larry Nance Jr. takes a step back into the restricted circle. BI, long stride, is going to get right by. And because Colin Murray-Boyle is filling this dunker spot and BI has incredibly long arms, he's just going to rise up. His defender runs into Larry Nance, takes this out of the play, and BI just gets a nice finish right at the rim for a layup. But key buckets for the Raptors to get back in this game in the second quarter. Now, a minute left in the second quarter, and Raptors are down by 1. They want to end the half in the lead. So what they're going to do here, they're going to get the ball back to Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram, again, does a great job here. When he's catching the ball, he's gathering with the one hand here. Until he puts that second hand on it, his pivot doesn't get set. He's still gathering. So what he does is in one motion, when that second hand touches, he's already switched over to the other foot. That gets him this extra step, which gets him ahead of his defender. Now again, BI's got long strides. His defender, even though it looks like he's lined up with him, he's technically behind him. BI's going to drive him right into the paint, get into the spin move with this bump. He's going to feel him with his hips. And what's happened is this defender's now turning. He's just been bumped by BI, so he's on his back foot. But BI has all of his momentum. He's going to half step into the paint. Bang. BI just touch and go. The defender is now basically at the circle, and BI's foot is well outside the block. So now he can just go into this turn. And even though it looks like the defender is close to him, Tomlin's to the left of him. BI has a clear look to the basket, and there's no chance his shot's getting blocked. He's on balance, and this is just professional fadeaway bucket a la Kobe, a la Jordan. Any big-time mid-range scorer has that shot in their arsenal. Now to close out the second quarter, BI again getting the ball up top, passes quickly, gets the ball back to BI. BI looks up. There's only 10 seconds on the clock. He's got Jamal Shed open. Fakes the pass over to Jamal Shed. I'm going to slow this down here. And Donovan Mitchell reacts. So BI says, okay, he's going to react. He's got some space in the middle. He's like, all right, I'm going to pump for the three-point shot. Donovan Mitchell reacts again. After the pump, he's going to hezzy into the drive. But as he's hezzying into this drive, you see his head's turned towards here. Donovan Mitchell is jumping this way, but his back foot is pointed back the other way. And that's what's going to open up. And suddenly Donovan Mitchell's out of position. He's going to blow by him. He's going to give a strong bump to Donovan Mitchell right here at the elbow. Again, you're shoulder to shoulder. It means you're behind. And now Donovan Mitchell, he's in retreat. He's back in deep into the paint. BI is just going to rise up at the elbow. And look at that. There is no contest that's going to happen here. Nobody's going to block this shot. It's just him in the rim. And that is easy money for Brandon Ingram. So now the Cavaliers have had the entirety of halftime to figure out how are we going to guard Brandon Ingram. And we come out in the second half, right at the top of the third. The Raptors make sure Brandon Ingram gets the ball. What they're going to do here, he's got Larry Nance. He wants to ISO it out. Emmanuel quickly is going to empty out this corner by curling over to the other side. What this does is this means that Larry Nance Jr. now does not have a help defender down here in this corner, which means he has to guard against this drive and be a little bit more careful. He can't play up. He can't allow this blow by. So what's going to happen here is Ingram knows this. He's going to attack that side. He's going to go between the legs, and Larry Nance Jr., look at that. He steps back, and this creates the room. Now Ingram's able to just get one dribble, pull up jumper. There's too much of a gap. Larry Nance can't get out there. And when he releases, look at the release point, look at the contest. Nothing is going to happen here. And BI hits the jumper over Larry Nance, and he starts right where he finished. Now we continue in the third. We're in transition. Here, again, remember, BI's already hit 2 catch-and-shoot threes at this point. The Cavaliers are well aware of this. BI here gets the ball here in semi-transition. Again, one-handed catch until that second hand gets on it. He doesn't have an established pivot foot, and he doesn't have to do anything. So he's feinting that he's going into this jump shot. Jakob Poeltl here is going to screen and seal Larry Nance Jr. to open up the driving lane for BI. What BI is going to do is as soon as he puts the second hand on the ball, he sees Evan Mobley's coming to defend the shot, and boom, drops the ball into the drive. This way he's able to beat Evan Mobley. Nice little arm to push off his hip and get clearance by him. Jakob Poeltl wraps up Larry Nance Jr., completely moves him out of the way, 2 hands into him, and this just gives Brandon Ingram the clearance for a 2-handed slam. Boom. Later in the third quarter, Raptors getting a little bit low on clock, about 10 seconds left. They're going to have BI cut across the lane. He's going to catch the ball here at the free throw line, elbow with Lonzo Ball on him. And at this point, now BI's hit so many jumpers that the Cavs are like, we cannot give him any space. So as soon as Ingram catches, he's going to go directly into his shot. Lonzo Ball is going to overcommit, and in doing so is going to land in his landing space. Foul. BI nails the shot. Professional bucket. But there you go. That's what happens. You start hitting those buckets. Now the Cavs have to be way more aggressive in their defense, and now you're picking up extra points at the free throw line. But the story's not done. Later in that third quarter, here we go. Jamal Shead drives, kicks it out to Brandon Ingram. Now Brandon Ingram, super tall, so he can pump fake really well without leaving the ground. He's going to pump fake. He's already hit 2 threes. Tomlin is going to stretch out to cut off that 3. BI is going to casually take the 1 step to the side. He's already made a jumper to the side, and he's going to casually swish one in. Again, now once you're hot, and this is where you get the Brandon Ingram special. Moving on to the fourth quarter, BI's got Tomlin on him, and now he's going to want to go and get the switch. So he calls Scottie back up, retreats, gets the hard screen, and here comes the switch with the big Thomas Bryant. And BI is already cooking. He knows he's going to get to his jumper, so let's set up this spot between the legs. He's going to go inside-out dribble. Boom, crossover. When he hits this crossover, Thomas Bryant retreats. BI goes between the legs again, steps in, and when he does this, look at where Thomas Bryant's gotten. Underneath the free throw line, BI is just going to rise up. Thomas Bryant's stuck in a retreat. The big just has no footwork to keep up with him, and BI's managed to move from the three-point line all the way to inside the circle. Easy bucket. Now we're getting to clutch time. 4 minutes left. Raptors up by 4. Game's getting tight again. 6 seconds left. The Cavs do a good job of actually cutting off BI. Gets the ball out to Pirtle. Pirtle hits him back. BI catches the ball here. Again, hop to set his feet. Only 4 seconds on the clock. He sees Tomlin on him. Empty corner. BI knows, oh, I know how to get this guy off beat. Boom, jab step. That opens up the space that he needs. And once he has that space, BI's got 3 seconds to get into his move. He's going to hit the hard stride to the left, sidestep, 3, cash, and the game is put away effectively from that point onwards. And with that, Raptors win behind Brandon Ingram's 37 points. If you like the video, if you like the content, please like, please subscribe, please share, do all that good stuff. You can check us out on Substack for some of our written work as well, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.